Welcome to episode 155 of The Endless Stream. I'm Aidan, and this week I'm joined by Kevin. We are two artists, illustrators, filmmakers, and all-round shit talkers, and each week we take some of the endless stream of content brought to you through Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, Spotify, Amazon Prime, wherever you get your content. We take a chunk of it, we watch it, and we talk about it. This week we're talking comic books, we're talking trailers, and we are talking Ron Howard's 1982 film starring Michael Keaton, Henry Winkler, and Shelley Long called Night Shift. It's class. If you like what you hear, please consider subscribing to the podcast, heading over to iTunes and Spotify, rating, reviewing, liking, subscribing. All of those good things really help us out. On top of that, you can head over to Instagram at The Endless Cast and give us a follow, send us a message. That's a great place to suggest something for us to watch, or, give us a different opinion. Tell us we're wrong. We like that too. We'll have a conversation with you. Messages are open. You can also send us an email at theendlesscast@gmail.com. All of that being said, let's get into the episode.
A good hour in. Let's talk movie talk this week with Aidan and Kevin. I'm back.
You kind of got there. Bleo? Right.
What?
You started your recording marginally sooner than I did, but sure, we'll be all right. We'll fix it in. Whoa. We'll fix it in post. Was what I was going to say. Kevin.
Yep.
How are you?
I'm good. Contentment check.
Contentment check.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Let's have
I'm good.
it. Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm fine.
Nice.
I'm alive. I'm still here. None of that stuff was in question for any particular reason. I just felt that put people's minds at ease in case they were concerned. But no, there's nothing wrong with me. It wasn't even in question.
Was never in question. No, you were spot on. You were top notch. You were ready to go.
Yeah,
Spock notch.
I haven't been to a GP since I was 16.
Really? Because you're top notch.
Because I'm top notch. That's more. That's probably more indicative. It's probably more indicative of men just not really making the same.
Looking after
taking
themselves.
The same measures in their health. Yeah. But I'm never sick, which makes me concerned a bit. Just I could be like Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense.
Oh, you think you're one of the Ubermensch? Deutschland.
Just, not necessarily invulnerable or anything, but I haven't been destroyed yet.
Oh. Well, that's
not a challenge for people out there. So put your bats away.
Put your bats away. It's a good way to be, though. Not destroyed yet.
Yeah. You're still here. You're not destroyed yet either.
No, and I'm usually in rude health. Health, as they say.
Yes.
Rude.
Yes.
Health. So
rude health.
That is in rude health. Let me think. Have I done anything of note? Have I done anything of interest? Have I done anything this week to talk about? I watched that clip.
The last time I
watched that clip from A Man in Full where there's a naked guy with his hard cock out. That's weird for a Netflix show.
What's it called?
A Man in Full, starring Jeff Daniels. It's on Netflix now. Episode 5, he goes to confront a gentleman and he stands there. He has been interrupted during the act of physical love, and he is just
that's unfortunate.
Stood there with his hard schwanz.
Okay. And how did that make you feel?
Jealous.
Jealous. Because the man was being interrupted.
Well, it's just
coitus?
Not that he was being interrupted, just that he had to.
Jealous of his. You felt he was
big old schwanz.
You felt he was more endowed than you. That's all right, buddy.
I mean, is it?
It happens.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, nothing's real on TV anyway, so don't worry about it.
No. Nothing's real on TV.
Yeah.
If you check your WhatsApp now, you shall see the penis.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the trigger warning.
A fireable offense?
And not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking annoying.
Well, if you find that kind of thing frustrating, I guess,
Okay.
yeah.
Just me.
Wouldn't.
Just me.
Well, no, like no, most men, we've all been insecure about our manhood at one stage or another. I wouldn't feel too bad about it.
I went on a little Instagram tear earlier in the week.
Oh, what does that mean?
Um,
A deep dive into somebody's world?
no, I was watching Star Trek, and there was a scene with like a really thirsty foot massage scene where I was just like, what
Oh, yes.
is this?
You shared that with me, and why stop sharing weird things with me?
You need to see all the things I see so that we can be the same kind of traumatized.
That's
same
fair.
kind of traumatized.
Trauma
bonding.
bonds.
That's a phrase that's popular in the world today, isn't it?
I wouldn't know.
So I posted the foot video with the what I thought was a funny comment was like, oh, Star Trek is the reason I am the way I am.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked at that and thought, isn't that funny?
It was humorous.
And then I went, well, basically I'm just going, I have a foot fetish. But I went, well, that's too weird. I'll try and diffuse this a little bit by posting some of the funny pictures I found around town over the last few days. And they were also kind of explicitly sexual.
Just
one was a foot cream, but its French language name was crème pied, which just read like cream pied to me, and I laughed.
I hate the things that you find funny.
And then I found another cream for the face called Superfacialist, and I thought that's pretty funny, and I posted that too. And then I did a little survey to make sure that I was accurately clearing the air and that people understood that I was a very kind, innocent, simple.
You're not a pervert.
Not a pervert.
Well, you shouldn't be kink shaming, but
Not kink shaming, but also those people are too kinky. So I was trying to diffuse that.
says
Do you think I adequately diffused the situation?
No.
No. What do you think people?
No, I just knowing you, no, absolutely not.
What do you mean?
Like, I wouldn't even have to have heard. You could have asked me that before. Yeah, you pointed out what you did in the follow up, and I would tell you no.
You think people? You think people are going to think that I'm
posting your further musings just make it look like you're leaning more into these are my genuine thoughts and the things I find funny.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
I think you actually doubled down. You kind of doubled down,
I
didn't
find
you?
it funny. I just
Yeah.
I'm not particularly into feet, and now I feel like, well, if I'm honest, some of the messages I got were people responding to me being into feet, in a way that I'm
Yes.
like,
Yep.
but I'm not into feet. It was.
You step further away from God every day. The last time I saw you was at the Bag of Cats comedy show.
It was fucking great.
Did you talk about it already in the podcast?
I think we talked about it a little bit. It was very fun. Did you have fun?
I had a great time. It was really, really good fun. Thank you for doing
Well,
it.
thank you for bringing it up. Thank you for hosting. Thank you for being.
Well, thank you to Norbert Halaz.
Thank you to Norbert Halaz for just being a fucking gent and helping us
Yeah,
keep
he's
this
great.
show going. Because we love doing it. We love doing it at Dublin Inc. It's
Yeah,
always
people
a blast.
always gets a good response. Yeah, always a good turnout. Always a blast.
It was very fun, and you actually join us 1 week out from the next edition of the Bag of Cats comedy show, which is happening at Chaplin's on Friday the 24th, and we have Kate Moylan and an improv group called Wrestling, which is great, and if you're free you should come. I don't, maybe necessarily not, but like you like wrestling, you like big boisterous boys, and we got Felix O'Connor, and we got of course the Bag of Cats, and a fella called Anthony Hernandez and a lady called Kaylee Horton, and we're gonna have Michael again, and Maria Cunningham, and the theme of this one is Leaving Cert Weather. It's Leaving Cert Weather.
Oh, brilliant. Hilarious. It is Leaving Cert Weather. It's cruel,
And
isn't
it's
Leaving Cert Weather and September Weather.
it's this thing where it's either, it works both ways. I like this one because it works both ways, because either it's going to be so hot that we can say Leaving Cert Weather, or it's not, it's going to be raining and it'll be like, can't wait for that Leaving Cert Weather. So our theme works.
Yeah.
We landed on a good theme.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember your leaving cert?
Yeah. I do indeed, of course.
Was it traumatic?
It wasn't that long ago. It was 18 years ago. No, because I had already gotten the Ballyfermot, shot as Ballyfermot, BCFE.
Oh, and that was no CAO wasn't fucking relevant. So your leaving
No,
cert
it's not
didn't come
so
into
much.
play.
No, no, not so much. I just had to pass.
Yeah, your leaving cert didn't really come into the
Yeah.
consideration at all. Then
I was immensely stressed prior to that, and then I was just like, oh, all right then, pretty cool, and then I just breezed it. It was like almost like the best thing that ever happened to me.
once you took the stress out of it, you got just relaxed and just wrote down the things you knew.
Yeah. Like, and I kind of I think I learned that I got into Ballyfermot like in January or something, so that was great.
Oh, did you? Okay, are you watching X-Men?
Yes.
Okay, I finally like watched enough X-Men to be able to say I'm watching X-Men. That's a really fucking good. What did you just sing? Happy Nation. You just sang it from X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's very convenient.
I think it's an Ace of Base song or something.
Is it?
Yes, I don't know. It's something like that. Yeah. Well, how much of X-Men have you watched?
Gambit just died. Spoilers.
Oh, it's brutal, isn't it?
Fucking class though.
Devastating.
Like, well done.
It's a great TV show. Are you kind of like, you're happy you're watching it
I
now?
am, but it's just like it took a minute. It just took like getting over the
Yeah, fair.
90s voice actors, and you know, like as much as we have nostalgia for
Yeah.
them, like nostalgia is, you know, did I have good taste in voice acting when I was 8?
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
No, but like the voice acting is good in it, like kind of as in the sense of like it gets better, you know.
The voice acting in it is fine. Gambit's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
They are going near some of the like romancy stuff and affair stuff, and like I don't know.
Oh, it's very soap opera-y.
But
that's always comics.
It is doing some of the like the grandeur of the like 90s cartoon was there. It just didn't have the fucking wherewithal to pull it off visually. And now they kind of do. Like that chase downtown through Genosha on the motorcycle with Rogue when they're fighting the like,
It's so wild, dude.
they fucking found their feet. Do you know what I mean? Like you think sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, animation production has just got to find its fucking footing, and
Yeah.
they did. It's fucking class. So as much as I'm shitting on animation moments ago, I am also now going, how fucking cool is that?
Yeah, no, it's incredible. It is actually brilliant. What episode was the Genosha one?
I feel
Right
like
Eyes, was it? No.
5.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely brilliant stuff. Yeah, that's Life Death Part 1. Yeah, really, 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 really good stuff. Did you see that clip that Brian sent you?
Which was that?
It hasn't happened yet. It's just Wolverine and Nightcrawler.
Oh, that little clip. Yeah, that's a fucking...
Yeah.
I saw that little clip. I am waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, it's so cool. Basically, spoiler alert. It's just the X-Men are fighting, and Wolverine is like in a fight with somebody, and Nightcrawler kind of jumps in and teleports the guy out of there. And I think he teleports Wolverine as well. But it's just you see it from Wolverine's perspective, and it's so
He gets
fucking
pulled
cool.
through whatever dimension Kurt teleports through.
Yeah, the Brimstone. Wasn't it something like that? Brimstone dimension?
Yeah,
or something?
it's where magic spends a bunch of time, right?
Yeah, something like that, though, isn't it? But it's really, really good. X-Men 97. It's really doing good stuff. I really enjoyed season 1. Can't wait for season 2. Apparently, is it Bo DeMaio?
Yeah.
He has season 2 written already, but he's been fired or something. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, that's tricky to know sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like, kind of like, I haven't, like, he seems to be just out there talking about it and kind of like, you know,
I was fired.
talking about the show and engaging with fans with the show and giving his, like, you know, his thoughts behind, you know what I mean? Like, it seems very like he's just talking and promoting the hell out of it, you know?
I suppose he's working on the next job, you know, like I have to get the next thing, so just to be a positive fucking force.
Yeah. It's so great though. It's a really, really, really good fun.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense how good it is. Like they've
Yeah.
They've pulled it together, I guess is the way to put it.
Yeah, and they just did like, it's the best thing Marvel have done in years.
Because it's drawn on the comics and sticking with it. And
this is it, dude. This is pretty. It's kind of cleaning up some of the comic stuff in it, but kind of trying to stay faithful to it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good. I love it. I was devastated when Gambit was killed, though.
I'm not saying it had to happen, but fuck, it was cool. It was cool. There was a point where I was watching it and going, he's going to run, like, to get to the thing he's charging at, it's going to take him some time.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, he was fucking wildly downtown from that fucker.
Yeah.
And the fact that he got to it. Anyway, look, that's me being very nitpicky.
Yeah, it is the Genosha nation of mutants.
Yeah, they did a great job. They did a great job showing the culture, the landscape.
It's also but it's also devastating, like all the Rogue or Magneto stuff, and when she comes down the stairs, and you feel so bad for Gambit. You genuinely feel heartbroken for him.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea that the electromagnetic field thing means she can. They're doing a great job. Some of it still feels a little stiff, but like they're doing a great job.
I wasn't like particularly sorry.
I was going to say I like what they're doing with Cyclops as well. Like it's riding the line of like it's riding the line of his existing douche character, but just enough personality that you can see him trying to be affable, and like it's playing with that enough. Like I always think sometimes they're just like a bit shorthandy with him, where they're just like, and he's a douchebag, and it's like, is he? Like,
yeah. I don't know if I necessarily call him a douchebag. It's more like he's just a real Boy Scout. Like he kind of he's more of a kind of like a stiff upper lip pent up version of Captain America in a sense.
But it's not Boy Scout. It's like
kind of top boy public school or private school
it's
thing.
It's not Boy Scout.
Yeah.
It's like as much as Captain America was Boy Scout, Scott Summers is like fucking rat. Do you know what I mean? He'll tell on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which are, those are two different things.
But yeah, I know what you're saying. Speaking of the X-Men, I did read God Loves Man Kills.
Okay, that's your first time reading that?
I wouldn't say so, but the first time reading it in my adult life for sure. Because what did I read? I'm just trying to think of something else there for a second. No, because you know the way sometimes. Well, I don't know if I've ever read the original God Loves Man Kills.
How do you mean?
Or not the original. Well, you know the way like they kind of like they do like they. Well, I don't know if they've done it with God Loves Man Kills. Did they
do a kind of revisited thing, or they do something like it?
Yeah. It's like kind of like what they call it. Days of Future Past. Like loads of stuff has happened there, but when the original two comics were just two small comics,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
And then it becomes this milestone moment in the narrative, and they just keep revisiting it, and it's like, man loves God kills, Gambit loves Cyclops kills, and then you just get various iterations on it. Yeah, I don't know if they did it with God Loves Man Kills. I'm sure they have, but yeah, or else I just read enough about the story, anyways, But no, it was. We just say it was like my first time anyways reading it in whenever, but it was great. Great. And that was the iPad app.
You've obviously read it before. No. One of the lads in the comic book shop.
I remember that. You said somebody left it into you.
Yeah. Lent me his copy, which was really nice of him because I didn't even ask. And he came across and was just like, Kev, I'd love this. So, yeah. And I read it. It was great.
My Marvel Unlimited app renewed.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, fuck off. I didn't want that to renew. That's a great idea, but I haven't read anything on it in fucking ever.
I know, but like I use it. I actually use it more frequently than I think sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, maybe, no, my iPad's up to date and my app's up to date, but like the amount of times I'm like, okay, I'll open this one, and then just like nothing happens.
It definitely used to do that with me more. It definitely feels less glitchy though the last few times I've used it, but it used to be a kind of much more glitchier, a bit stiff, a bit laggy.
Yeah, that drives me potty,
Bananas.
as they say. I don't like it. I would like it to just do the damn job. Can you make it just do the damn job?
I know you have Marvel Unlimited, but you could also get Omnibus.
What's Omnibus?
Omnibus is a comic book store app, like a comic book reader, but like they have good stuff on it. Godfell, shout out to Ben Hennessy. Godfell's on it.
What is it's a standalone app for like comic book
distribution? Yeah, like
it's
so
like
has
Comixology?
Yeah, kind of. I think DC and Marvel are on it, but like Boom and Image and a few ones like that are on it and stuff. Dark Horse maybe.
So what's the app called? Omnibus.
Omnibus.
Is it a subscription thing, or do you just pick and buy what you want?
It's just I think. Oh, I don't know, buddy, because I did install it, but I just didn't use it yet. Shop read, so you must buy stuff on it and then read it on it.
Do you know that, like, are we revisiting topics, but like the idea that like Amazon bought Comixology
and then destroyed it?
Kind of just never worked with it, never did anything with it to make it good.
Yeah, they updated it and made changes and then absolutely ran to the ground. I loved that app during lockdown.
It was a good. Well, I mean, I think it was bought well before that, but
it probably was, but they did change things at one stage, and it was literally day and night unusable.
Yeah, it's really janky, and it's like, why did you do this? Why Amazon? Oh, you mean you sell the same products on your website, and you want us to just go over there and use Kindle apps and things? I see why you've done this. I see why you've done this. You bunch of fucks. You company man.
Speaking of comics, I also read Daniel Warren Johnson's 6-issue run of Transformers, where he's the artist and the writer.
Oh, cool. Okay, you and your Daniel Warren Johnson though. You love him, right?
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, he's really brilliant. I wouldn't be big into Transformers at all, but you know what I mean. Like, kind of like loved it as a child. Great. Saw probably the first 2 movies. You know, I thought Transformers 1 was great when I first saw it. You know.
Yeah, I always had thoughts on that.
Yeah, fair. No, I remember coming out of the cinema going like that, because like I had low expectations, like Transformers, you know, that kind of way, like kind of just in the sense of just like, you know, it's like if you go see like a King Kong versus Godzilla movie, it's just like it's you know, I don't want to say lowbrow, but you know what I mean. It's like it's kind of just go in, set your expectations low, go in. It's a feast for your eyes, get out, you know, that kind of way.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed Transformers immensely when I first saw it. I really did. Yeah, so I read the comic. It's good. I did like it. Daniel's art is amazing in it. Like, it's phenomenal. And like, you know, massive credit to Mike Spencer who colors his work. Mike Spencer's colors are just phenomenal. They're so good. They really they really add a lot, you know. But the pages also, when they're black and white, just look great. But it's a great book. It's really enjoyable. It gets straight stuck into just like kind of it's a kind of a very basic plot to a degree, but it doesn't get bogged down in like trying to kind of like, why are they here? What's going on? This and this. I think it just basically is like the Transformers have crashed to Earth after Cybertron, the fall of Cybertron on the planet. And then they're mistakenly woken up by 2 kids and kind of in a small kind of
the
town.
Pilot, isn't it? That's an easy writing assignment. Daniel.
But like, spoiler alert, but it kind of like it's a thing that Daniel has done in 2 books. Definitely one, like as in like kind of like you know, he's done it in Do a Powerbomb. He kind of did it in Murder Falcon, but essentially it's like you know, it's just pulling the heartstrings of like, say, family relationships and what happens when one of them dies.
Right.
You know what I mean? In the sense of just like, you know, it's in a few of his books that like, you know, someone's parent dies or child dies or partner dies. You know, that kind of way. And it's like a big moment. And it's like, you know, I as you mentioned before, I am a big Daniel Warren Johnson fan. But it's just, and I thoroughly enjoy Transformers. and I'm trying to say this in
It's a paint by number narrative solution, though.
Yeah, it's just he's done it a few times, and I just was when I read it and it happened, I was just like, all right,
Here
okay,
comes Daniel
again,
killing family members again.
yeah.
Damn, Daniel.
But damn, Daniel, it's a great book. It is so much fun. He has stopped artist duties on it at the. I don't think he's going to pick it back up. I think someone said he's going to pick it back up at 12, but I doubt it. He kind of seems to kind of just do a thing and then move on from it,
Which is not a bad system.
Oh, I much preferred. You get more content that's not stringed together, you know.
Yeah, but I was talking
Like
about that briefly
things.
in terms of like, I sent you a link to like, I think people were doing more Ultimates books or something.
Oh
It
yeah,
was just like, to me, I know this is fucking. I don't know. I don't know if this is it's a. To me, this is a. It's just the Ultimates was that 2-volume run for Brian Hitch and
David Finch,
Miller, I think, wasn't it?
No, Miller.
And
Yeah.
the fact that they even went
They
back
finished
for
the
another
later
one
stuff.
with Joe Mad was like, nah, you didn't need this. This was done. You covered this extensively.
Yeah, so I think they did a thing called like the Ultimatum or something, and that's how they were able to bring them back.
Oh, did they bring
And
them into
then
the core universe?
I don't know, something like that, bro. But I really don't.
Because
know.
I think my thing was just like, I know this isn't fucking true, but my reaction to seeing it was just like, if this is just a costume redesign of the Avengers, then just call them the fucking Avengers at this point. The Ultimates was a whole, there was an idea that was the Ultimates, which was the sort of the hardcore Marvel rebrand or spin-off, and
yeah, it was fun stuff. It was really great. Ultimate X-Men was great. Ultimate Spider-Man was brilliant, and the Ultimates was great. I read a lot of Ultimate X-Men and a lot of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Ultimate Spider-Man was wicked. Mark Bagley's
Bagley, yeah, brilliant. Yeah,
he
like I
fucking
kind
nailed
of.
it.
Yeah, when I think of Spider-Man, I really think of Mark Bagley, that period as well.
Yeah, well, like for me,
Obviously-
it's Bagley and Romita Jr.
I was going to say Romita, yeah.
JR.
But also, though, I love his work, and I see a lot of people criticize it online. Like obviously he's probably when you produce that much work, you're going to be hit and
So
miss. That's just the
who
end
are we
of it.
talking
But when
about
he's
now?
good, he's great. Just redditors or commenters or
No,
people
but
on the internet.
you love whose work?
John Romita Jr.
Yeah, no, I love his work.
Yeah,
It's
his Daredevil stuff.
it's evolved beyond his, like he was very much his father's son for a very long time, and now he has grown into his own thing, and he's stylized beyond what that was as well. And like fucking cool, let him work. Let him work. Let him do his thing. He is an artist who is like, for me, or my thoughts on him is like he's an artist who has nailed his production method. He is quick. He turns out pages. They're very energetic.
Never misses a deadline.
They're very they're a very specific look, and they're not for everybody. And the coloring does a lot of the heavy lifting as well. So it's a very efficient little process he's got going there to keep his business going. The guy's got to work. Guy's got to feed his. I don't know if he has kids, but the guy's got to feed his machine, I guess, and he does it. He draws fucking fast. He draws good, and he draw good. I like.
He draws
energetic.
good. I have. He's brilliant. I just love his blockiness. Everything to it is great. Like we talked about before, but that what's it called? I can't remember now. It's a Ghost Rider, Punisher, Wolverine one shot where they're in a town and Blackheart attacks. It's so good.
Who attacks?
It's John Romita and it's Darkheart or Blackheart.
Okay.
You know Blackheart?
I don't know that I do.
Mephisto's son?
Oh no, I do. Yeah. It took saying, giving me his nepo pedigree.
Yeah. But I can't remember. Dark Road to Redemption or I can't remember what it was called. But it's great. Really, really. It could just call Redemption, but it's really, really great. I have this whatever run. I think it's a 6-issue run of Man Without Fear by Romita, and those covers are so great. The shiny red.
Yes. There's like that foil stuff.
Yeah, I have those, and I would love to get them framed and put them up at some stage. They are a lot of fun. Those covers are great. But yeah, I don't think I read anything else. I did watch Bodkin, which was good. Did you watch Bodkin?
I didn't watch Bodkin. Tell me about Bodkin. I seen it. I seen that there's like an Irish connection. There's a comedian who we had on the Cats show who's in it, I think, briefly. I don't want to fucking attribute her or anything, so I'll say not beyond that. But yeah, I'm curious. Tell me about Bodkin.
Will Forte is in it, and he's great. And it's basically, it starts as this Irish journalist, and she's in London, and she works for like one of the kind of bigger broadsheets there, I guess. And she broke a story, and the whistleblower of that story's name was leaked, and he committed suicide. And it's being investigated. So the editor tells her, like, look, get out of Dodge. That's an order, go to this place. I have this guy, American guy, who has this podcast, and he wants to go to this small town in Ireland called Bodkin, where there was 3 people missing on the night of Samhain 20 years ago. Right. And she teams up with Will Forte and his assistant. I'm trying to think of the people's names, but I can't. Yeah, it's like it's super silly. You know what I mean? Like, as in, like, kind of. I don't want to speak too much about the finale, but it's like, it's really over the top stuff, like.
And it's fun.
It's fun. Fun one, okay. It's fun. Like, you don't necessarily like, it is fun, like, and some of the kind of Irish things in it are gas, like, kind of whoever wrote it kind of got some good information, that kind of way. It does hit on some stuff, and then other stuff kind of is like, or typical tropes, but it does hit on some stuff, yeah. But no, it's enjoyable. Yeah, it does lean into some trope stuff for sure, But yeah, it's good. It's fun. You recommend it. Yeah. I don't necessarily think I want more of it.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's not like Only Murders in the Building, right. Because they recorded this podcast as they're investigating this thing. But it's twisty and turny, and it's interesting.
And you're still on the Only Murders.
Some of it's daft, but yeah.
I thought it was related to what was it called? Was it called Paranormal? What was it? Irish.
Yeah, no. I thought it might be as well when I saw he was like, it's like, Will Forte is back in Ireland again. Like, that's mad. But yeah, it's not. But that movie's quite funny.
Yeah, what's that movie called?
Oh, is it something like? It is something like paranormal, but like, I feel like the emphasis is on normal. Or
it's hardly extraordinary, is it?
It is, yeah, extraordinary, yeah.
Yeah, so I actually thought it was going to be like a, they've serialized. Oh my god, I said the word. Oh yeah, you did. Uh-oh.
Wow.
Am I okay?
Oh my god, I'm getting stronger. But go on. Yes, they serialized it. I kind of thought the same, bro, but no, not the case. Separate beast. I watched Dune 1 and 2.
You watched Dune 1 and 2? Had you never seen?
I'm gonna watch. No, I hadn't seen them. I'm gonna rewatch the second one, maybe the last hour or so, because it was just definitely getting more tired for sure. But I never fall asleep during movies. Never. Nope. Don't listen to anybody.
Is this an argument with somebody?
No, you know what? I don't want to be caught in a lie. I do. I fall asleep during movies all the time.
I fall asleep too easily.
I was dozing.
I fall asleep.
True Dune 2!
You missed the end of Dune 2, Electric Boogaloo?
No, I did see it, where Space Jesus becomes evil.
Space Jesus. Yeah, no, he definitely embraces his shadiness. Side. Yeah, he's just like, well, I guess I'm shady now. And
yes, lean in.
Yeah.
Lean in, dark child. Lean in, Paul.
If every corruption came with one Florence Pugh, the world would be getting pretty corrupt.
Oh yeah, I had to remember. I forgot she was in it and all that stuff. Yeah.
Free with every new corrupted individual. One Florence Pugh.
Poor Florence Pugh. Don't do that to her.
There's a beautiful note somebody pointed out about her costume progression. Like, we first meet her journaling and using her word to document her experience and whatnot. And by the end of it, Space Jesus is taking her as a wife, and her costume becomes more and more and more this like
Shroud.
and more this like gag over her. I don't know what the arc
Yeah.
of that character is, but it's an interesting. It's a nice piece of costumery.
Yes. Yeah.
Costumery.
No, it's a good movie. Emer thinks it's great. So, you
Interesting.
know, it's good sci-fi if you
Yeah.
know, people aren't into sci-fi, I think can look past that and think it's a great movie. But yeah.
The music really helps.
Yeah, the music's fun. The music's cool.
Good old Hansi Zims. Not Hans Zim, isn't it? It's Ludwig Göransson. Who's
I
the?
don't know what I'm saying
Is
now.
it?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter. The score is one of the most important parts.
Isn't that the whole thing? Everybody goes, "Oh." All I care about, Happy Nation.
Oh, it is Hans Zim's. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said. What have you been doing, Aidan? Enough about me now. Oh, I regret asking that.
I have been creating Instagram fetish-based thirst traps.
Oh yes, do divulge. You were turned on recently by an episode of Star Trek.
Oh, we already talked about that on this. Yeah,
Oh, did we?
It's just that we covered my already dones. And so I'm just mentioning.
Okay, I thought.
You remember we talked about the thing I did?
Yes, I know, but I thought you weren't going to include that in the podcast.
No,
Yes.
that's up the front. We covered it. We had some Fantastic Four news, right?
Oh yeah, we have Fantastic Four news. Galactus has been cast by the scary witchy man, non-witchy man in that movie Witch with the girl that he was a witch. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, but you know his name, right? Do you think we see Galactus, or do you think we see some sort of like celestial Galactus type
Cloud.
thing? Yeah, like because we've seen Celestials at this point.
No, we'll see Galactus. I think they're trying to move close to the comics. It's a good look for them.
Comics.
What's the guy's name?
I'm gonna grab it now. He has Innocent. Phenomenal voice on him.
Yes, I do know. When I saw it, I recognized it straight away. But yeah, very cool. Also, your friend, female Columbo, Natasha
Leon. Wait,
I fucking remembered
well
it.
done. You're on fire today.
I'm on fire today. She's been casted in Fantastic Four.
No way. When did that happen?
Yeah, way, bro. I don't know. It's not my fucking job.
All right.
I'm not a casting agent for Fantastic Four. How many times do I have to tell you this?
So, do we know who she's playing?
No, of course we don't
Is
know
she like the
anything, pal.
landlady of the Baxter Building?
Oh, maybe.
Was that a person? Do I remember that right?
I think you might be thinking about Ghostbusters. Was that something?
No. Was that something?
No. Maybe the Fantastic Four did have.
I think
some
there was a guy
cantankerous-
who was cantankerous in the basement and had thoughts on, like, Mr. Richards, like, this is unacceptable.
This goes against
The area codes.
regulation. Yeah.
Do we have a Marvel movie this year?
Not so much. The only one we have is technically Deadpool and Wolverine.
Right. And I've heard
'Cause
terrible things about whatever's going on with that Captain America.
Well, Marvel are suing.
Somebody
for
leaked a
leaking
picture
footage.
and some like info about like the amount of reshoots that are going on.
Reshoots doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, right? Though.
We always say that, but then we see them.
Yeah. Oh, and the Marvels, I think, is the biggest loss for Disney in a long time.
Did you watch the Marvels in the end?
Yes.
Fucking terrible, right?
I'm not going to say it was terrible. I liked aspects of it.
Yeah, you did. Boobs.
Yeah, I did.
You misogynist.
That's not necessarily a predominant factor in why I liked it, and probably I didn't take into enough consideration. I can rewatch it and let you know. No, I didn't hate. To be honest, I enjoyed aspects of it. I enjoyed it for the most part. It's not
Really?
great by any means, but like, not that I like kind
Who
of
was the villain?
okay, I remember.
What did
I
she
know
want?
the actor, but she Kree? I think she was Kree. There's a Shira the Kree Skrull, and what was the other one? I know there's loads now, but was it a Kree War and stuff? Yeah. But yeah, like look, kind of, it was grand. I didn't hate it.
What did she want?
The planet, didn't she want the planet?
Didn't she want?
She always wanted the planet. Because Ronan the Accuser. Ronan the Accuser Kree, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, she was something to do with Ronan the Accuser, I think. I can't remember. And I explained, I think, why some of them are blue, but I can't remember.
Did they try and explain that? Why, like, Jude Law's not blue and some of them are blue? Dabba-dee-dabba-doo.
I think they did explain it. I can't remember why. Well, it was a simple enough explanation. I can't remember. They did the change or something.
Like, that is the first Marvel movie where I was just like, actually, that's the first movie in the cinema where I was just like, I'm going to take my phone out and just watch something, do something else.
Did you see it?
I thought the cinema
Did you
was
see
like,
the cinema?
but this is fucking not good.
Yeah.
Like, we talked about it a bit at the time where it was just like, why are we setting up a whole musical planet and number and things and then not doing any of that? Like don't set up a world of musicals and then not have one good fucking song in it. Like, do a musical.
Yeah.
Do a musical.
What else was there? Nicolas Cage is going to be in a live action Spider Noir TV show for Prime.
Mental.
Is he going to play it, Spider Noir?
I mean, he's not going to. He's going to have to, right?
Yeah.
Like, what would he play if not Spider Noir? Live action Spider Noir. That is and it's 21 Jump Street, people, so it's got to be played for comedy, right? So
yeah.
Does that... That's a reaction to Peacemaker.
Interesting.
That's got to be, right? Like, adult comedy thing.
Fair.
Does he web slings, right? Do they have the budget and the will to spend that budget in this day and age?
I don't know what these people do anymore about it. They're all gone crazy.
Aurora Borealis.
Oh yeah, did you see it?
I did not. Did you?
No, I did not. No.
Did you?
Right,
did you try?
On. Yeah, well, I stepped outside my house and was just like, no, it's not there. Go back inside. I saw it years ago.
Outside your house. I stepped outside my comfort zone. Didn't see nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. It's about as far as I can go. So, you suggested that we watch a movie called Night Shift.
I did. This is a film that I've heard mentioned in connection with Michael Keaton for
this is his first
many
major
a year.
It was Michael Keaton. So it's a 1982 movie called Night Shift, starring Henry Winkler, who was most famous for, particularly at the time, Happy Days, playing the Fonz. It's directed by Ron Howard, who I think was his directorial debut, maybe. And it was his first movie, Ron Howard being mostly famous for at the time, Happy Days. Who did he play in Happy Days?
Richie.
Was it? Richie. I was going to say Dennis for some reason.
Dennis.
So he played Richie. But it's 1982, directed by Ron Howard, starring Henry Winkler, starring Shelley Long and Michael Keaton, and it was Michael Keaton's movie debut.
It was Michael Keaton's film debut. So first thing on that, right? Michael Keaton is a fella who I guess kept beating the odds by being some degree of undeniable, because he is a short, very balding man in this movie, his feature film debut.
Oh, that's so hard. How old was he at the time?
Michael Keaton. I think he's about 40, to be honest.
Wow, fair play to him. It's strange that they called Shelley Long's character something Keaton, Barbara Keaton or something.
Let me just double check Michael Keaton's age. I feel like he's 72.
You're 72.
So he was probably 30 something, right? He's born 51, 60, 70, 80. So he was 30, 31, 32 when they were making this film.
Wow, okay.
So I was
great.
far off.
He's great in it. But it's gas though, kind of, you can totally see how off the back of that he got stuff like Beetlejuice and things.
Yes, yeah. And also just like I guess why I'm bringing up the notion of the beating the odds thing is the idea that like him being cast as Batman was a thing as well, if you remember, that like people were not happy that Batman was a short guy. The guy that played Mr. Mom, as they have made much of over the years, was suddenly like, this is going to be Batman?
It was offered to Mickey Rourke, but he turned it down. Thought comics were for
Mickey
kids.
Rourke. Well, I mean, there was no evidence to the contrary at that point, was there?
At that point, didn't they do Killing Joke at that stage?
The comic book? I mean, no, I'm talking cinematically. There was definitely hardcore comics.
Cinematically fair. But, okay, so, and the movie is set in New York City. And it features Henry Winkler, who is a former financier who gave it up because it was too stressful to work in a morgue. As a result of nepotism, he's moved into the night shift, hence the title of the movie. And then he gets paired with Michael Keaton, who is a kind of a get-rich schemer, wheeler dealer, all this kind of stuff. And he has a chance encounter with a sex worker who... at the start of the movies, Pimp is murdered. And it decided to become the pimp for Barbara Keaton, or Shelley Long's character, and her colleagues.
Yes.
Because they are in danger.
Yes, that is it in a nutshell. It is what did you ever see Risky Business? Tom Cruise thing?
Nah, not in my adult life.
Okay.
That's what we're going to answer.
I think that's not in my adult life is your go-to now. I think that's
but it's true of a lot of things, to be fair.
Fair.
All right.
But so first off, Henry Winkler, right? 1982. He still looks quite young, and I looked at this and went, when was Happy Days? Because the period nature of it actually makes it kind of fucking, like, kind of hard to figure out sometimes. And I remember Scruff the other week sort of going, you know, Happy Days didn't take place in the 50s. I'm like, I know it didn't take place in the 50s, but then I was a bit like, I don't know when it took. 1974?
I was going to say, so 1982... 1972, 1974.
Happy Days began in 1974, I believe, if not 5, and it ran for 11 years.
Oh shit! Yeah, because apparently they were like pretty tight schedules shooting Happy Days and Night Shift, and Henry Winkler was going up and down between California and New York to do it. He was doing like mad days.
Yeah, and like you've got to think it like you don't give up the fucking cash cow show. But at the same time,
yeah,
he's got to be sick of fucking playing the Fonz 11 years in.
That's why he wanted to. When he got the chance to play this character,
he's a sort of sad sack, not the cool guy.
He completely changed it. Yeah, he wanted to completely change it.
And
I think it's just to kind of preface it at the top because I feel like it should be said, but I think it's a great movie. I thought it was quite enjoyable. There's some great lines in it, and it's very fun.
It has been held, like, I've heard people talk about this as like a fucking classic. You know, it's like it's something they love. Brian had not heard of it, and when I said it was a fucking like comedy classic or at least a little cinephile niche like gem thing, he was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I checked Rotten Tomatoes, and it had great reviews. It had it's got a high. At least from critics, like it's up in the 90s in terms of its percentages.
Yeah,
I think one of the things about it is like 1980. You know that idea that like 1980 isn't the 80s; it's the ass end of the 70s.
Yes,
you know. So the fashion and the style and the world that they're living in, it's not
more
1989
indicative of 70s.
high fucking plastic and colors and whatever the hell else. It feels like a 70s film. The cinematography, that nighttime cinematography, that era of New
Especially
York.
at the start of the movie. Especially the
start of the movie is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
It is such great sequence.
It's wild. Yeah.
And you got Richard Belzer there from like he was
I know,
from like Law and Order. Not gonna.
Yeah, you see Ron Howard's brother.
Yes.
He's the guy who's getting the limo, and appears later in the morgue. And then you see what they call him as well. The other guy. Oh my god, I want to say it's Vincent or something. I don't know his
Schiavelli,
name.
Is it the guy who delivers the sandwich at the end? Vincent Schiavelli, I think. He's
something like that.
He's the ghost that Patrick Swayze meets in Ghost, who teaches him how to ghost.
Yes, he was scary in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, his whole attitude was just like he could make contact through like his rage. But
yeah, there's some gas. Like, well, I can't remember what you're saying.
What I was saying was, what I was commenting on was the idea that like this is an 80s sex comedy romp type of thing, but it's got a little holdover like 1970s like. It
looks like Taxi Driver.
When he's walking it's got 1970s American New Wave vibes. You know what I mean? Like it's like Ron Howard is like the last of those Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg guys.
But it's like kind of exactly. And you know, like when they're walking through New York and they're going by like live sex shows and this and that and all that kind of stuff. It's like that's all feels very Taxi Driver-ish, you know. But I was gonna say, you know, that's this opening sequence. You see a character who is quite obviously up to no good. He's on the run, and he's on the run from baddies as well. Mm-hmm. But you see him decked out with his pimp and all, or his kind of big pimp fur coat and stuff, you know. And it reminded me of a story I read recently where, and I can't remember, so it's all of these facts are going to be wrong. It was like in the 70s and maybe 60s or 70s, and there was a big drug baron in New York, and the police had no idea who he was or could ever get to him.
Yeah, this is the Denzel Washington movie.
Is it? And then, but like the whole thing was like kind of, he went to some like big boxing match in Madison Square Garden. Yep. Is that it? Yeah. And he was wearing like he was decked out in all the stuff, like, and he had better seats than like, I think it was like Frank Sinatra and somebody else. And the police were literally like, "Who's that guy?"
Yeah. What's the name of that movie?
American Gangster.
American Gangster. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw it. But okay, yeah, that was an intro. It kind of reminded me of that, you know what I mean? Like, but it's kind of gas. Like, it's like the guy had such a low profile, but then he went to this boxing game in like the decked out in like the craziest, most expensive stuff. Like I think it was like a chinchilla fur coat or something.
That is American Gangster, and it's a I don't know. People love it. I didn't think much of it at the time. It didn't do much for me, to be honest. It wasn't doing it for me. But yes, I can see what you mean. The fucking tied him to a chair and fucked him out a window. What a fucking brutal moment.
That seems so harsh. Yeah.
Yeah, feels unnecessary. Shelley, like this. So Henry Winkler is still the Fonz. Ron Howard, I think he might have been gone from Happy Days at that point. He did leave at a certain point, like he went to college and Fonzie was still hanging around.
Yeah, I do remember that. I watched a good bit of the show
of the Happiest Days.
Yeah,
but you also have Shelley Long is 1 year into Cheers.
Okay, that's where I know her from. I was trying to think, but she's in loads of things. I know her well to see, you know. Yeah. She looks great in it.
I never thought Shelley Long was attractive. I was never into her. I mean, I think arguably, inarguably, she is a slender, blonde human female.
Yes, fair.
Like what an awful way of describing a human being. But like, I always hated her personality.
Well, I think she's probably poorly. Or she was probably poorly cast in this or poorly cast in things or something, because she's really great in this.
Yeah, actually, like she kind of is getting a chance to like do something fun and interesting, and
she has some of the
edge.
funnier. She actually has some of the funnier lines and funnier delivery.
Yeah. And she went on to Cheers, where she just had to be this like shrew, which I just hated.
Well, she was probably not typecast, but like typecast after that or something. You know?
She just had to be the sort of like Frasier, and giving out to Sam, and
well, Hollywood does like to make women into nags.
Into what?
Nags.
Nags. Sounds like you said lags. I'm like, into lags.
Naggers. Because if you look back at like even the likes of Breaking Bad,
yeah,
and it's like people hate Skylar, and it's just like, you do realize though, Skylar is a normal person who has a child with special needs and a newborn baby, who has just found out that her husband is dealing and producing crystal meth. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like anything Skylar does,
just get over it.
Is a completely yeah, okay.
What?
Everything she does is a completely normal reaction.
Yeah, 100%.
I just don't get it. I never even at the time finding myself getting irritated with Skylar, and then just like kind of like realizing rationalizing it and being like, yeah, that's fucked. You know?
Well, it's two different things. Like, you're here to see the fun drug kingpin show.
Yeah, I know, but even at that though, like, kind of, it's a bit much. It's a bit much.
I loved the another example of that sort of ambulance, the Ghostbusters. What do you call that? It's not the Ghost Mobile, right? The Bustin' Mobile, the Ghostbusters automobile. Yeah, right?
Oh, the Ecto-1.
The Ecto-1. We're just supposed to roll past the name at this point, huh?
Ecto-mobile.
Yeah, it's Ecto-1. That's the way to do it, I suppose. That's the way to do it. Money for nothing and kicks for free. Chicks for free, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, John Spartan, what's your bother?
What? Yeah, so night shift. I had to leave work early today to look after my dog, but so I was able to watch it pre pod. But I was kind of annoyed I didn't watch Redeemer. I just didn't get the chance, and I think she would have really liked it. It was good fun.
It is Michael Keaton, funny. Go on. Sorry.
I was going to say, Michael Keaton though, his style is beginning to touch on 80s style.
Yes, that sort of,
like, he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt, an actual like kind of windbreaker sports top thing, like ridiculous glasses. You know, like he's definitely kind of starting to lean into an 80s aesthetic in the movie. But he's meant to be kind of,
and getting towards that sort of like Bruce Willis
vibrant
in Moonlighting with Sybil Shepherd. Do you remember when he was the like wisecracking detective guy? Did you ever see that show?
No, I don't know.
You don't know that's another one that ran forever, and it was a real like will they won't they show. And
okay, TV show, right?
That started in '85, so Michael Keaton was ahead of him.
Well, do you know what else who Michael Keaton was ahead of? Kevin Costner.
Go on.
Kevin Costner's in Night Shift.
Where?
He's one of the frat boys in the morgue.
No way. That's so funny.
Yeah, nuts, isn't it? Absolutely nuts. Shannon Doherty was also in it, I believe.
Wait, she must have been a child.
Probably, yeah.
Because Shannon Doherty...
She was a child. I know, it was charmed and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But, and then Ron Howard played the annoying saxophonist on the train, for anybody that wants to know.
Oh, cool. Okay, you just see that. But, like, that's what I was kind of talking about, or what I wanted to get onto was just, like, it's got this, like, classic cinema fucking look to it. And then it's just got these big goofy fucking gags on it. It's got sight gags and wordplay gags and just like context gags and like the moment where this busker comes up beside him and starts playing the saxophone and he reaches in his pocket and hands him some money and then he just starts playing louder and more and furious, and he just sort of slowly takes out a checkbook and starts writing a larger check. That is so Naked Gun. That is such a funny fucking gag.
But it's funny though, because like obviously Michael Keaton, you know, we know that Beetlejuice, and Beetlejuice must have been the 90s, was it?
87, 88.
87,
It was
88.
just
oh my God,
before
okay.
Batman. I always think of it.
No way.
I believe so. I'm
that's
going to
really
double check that,
funny.
because now I realize I'm thinking of Scrooged.
Oh yeah, Scrooged. Okay, good movie.
Beetlejuice, 88. Fucking yes.
Then it was a cartoon.
Danny
in the
Elfman's
90s.
music between Batman, Beetlejuice, and Scrooged have a bunch of similarities.
Ooh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's good. Right.
You know, you can kind of tell, like movie composers in particular, you can look at one Hans Zimmer piece from 1990 and one Hans Zimmer piece from today, and you'll go, wow, different pieces. But if you put all the movies they're doing in line, you're like, oh, they're very much in their like stringy screamy phase.
Night Shift, really good fun. Kind of initially, like we were talking about the opening sequence, I thought like, well, like this is going to be pretty intense or something, you know.
Yeah.
But it gets really ridiculous and really fun.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of all of the moments that we had in this film, like his wife or his fiance.
Yeah, when he says like he shows a picture of his fiance to a homicide detective and a sex worker, and they kind of don't really react, and he says like, well, she has a lot of water retention in the photograph, or she doesn't picture well, she has a lot of she has water retention issues, and it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's a weird fucking moment.
Yeah, it really is. And then it's strange though, because he's all about showing this sex worker, Shelley Long's character, and this homicide detective just randomly a picture of his fiance and stuff, and then doesn't share any aspects of his life with Michael Keaton.
Well, so it's not that he's showing her. It's not that he's randomly showing her a picture of his fiance. What's happening there is she's going, don't I recognize you? And he's like, no. I don't frequent sex workers.
Oh yeah,
I have a fiance. And it's at that point that he pulls the picture
forgot.
out. So that's like him being like defensive.
Yes.
That in itself is kind of funny.
Yes. But I was going to say actually that it's kind of mad when you think like Michael Keaton, you think he would have been like fully fledged by, you know, the 80s and all that kind of stuff, which technically by the end of it he was. But you think Kevin Costner was far more established before 1982?
No, I don't. I don't think of him. I think of him as late 80s.
Early 90s, because he's a 90s actor kind of thing.
He's like, his heyday is fucking, you know, Field of Dreams and Waterworld and The Postman.
Yeah, fair. I just kind of put like, you know, him in the same kind of category. Kevin Costner, like Daniel Day-Lewis, Michael Keaton, like Kurt Russell, Michael Douglas, like all of that kind of era stuff, you know. I would have thought he was just more established by that time, you know. But difficult, just you know, goes to show what the fuck do I know? What the fuck do I know?
The relationship with the wife is fucking funny. The fact that the dog are always chasing him down the hallway.
That dog is so beautiful as well.
Knocking on the door and the cowboy in his underpants opening the door was so funny.
Yeah, you know that country. It's awful good, but yeah, it's good. It's good fun stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it. Like it's well, I mean, I don't want to just dwell on the fucking plot of it or the moments of it. Winkler is really like, he's such a gentle sad sack. You know, you want him to do well. The moment where he like knows that he's been passed over, and he has to go back to the night shift, and he stands up and goes, "Mr. Carboni, the new hire seems to have your last name," and he's like, he's like my nephew or something. And it's like completely unspoken, the nepotism at play, but just like also calling it out. It was very fucking funny. What a lovely way to do that. I think it's like for a first feature film. What a hit! What a swing and a hit! Is that a thing? Do you say swing and a hit?
Yes, very enjoyable though. people go watch it. It's only what, 38 years old? How old is it? No, it's not. It's
22 years old. 42 years old.
42 years old, yeah, sorry. 42 years old. Go see it. Go watch it with your
is that you done reviewing it?
Friends. Well, there's not much more we can say about it, really. You know. Yeah, it's gas. It definitely kind of, when you watch it, you can kind of see like potentially how other things are kind of inspired by.
Oh, like what?
Well, just kind of stuff like these kind of like kind of suits, or these kind of like, you know, kind of mediocre guys or people kind of legitimizing something like a super legal trade. You know what I mean? Like kind of like how they kind of come in and they're going to get the girls, all the sex workers are going to get them all pensions and dental plans and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, you can kind of see like how, you know, like it's just, I don't know, you often see it in things where it's like kind of, yeah, blue collar people get involved in crime and they kind of like legitimize it like that or something,
right.
You know, put more structure to it.
Like, I'm willing to accept your premise. I just want the examples, I guess. I was like, what are we saying? It influenced what? Like, what's an example of it? I know Risky Business was, again, like, he goes to abroad? I can't remember what the fuck he does. But there's definitely whores involved. Definitely whores. Yeah.
But, like, what's that one that's on Netflix now? And I think Christina Hendrick is in it.
Oh.
I always get her. And, like, they're... like kind of they find out that their husbands or somebody had a crime business and then they took it over, and they're kind of like soccer moms. That could be, yeah. Or bad girls, but I didn't realize. But yeah, well, was that a ridiculous thing to say it in the sense? Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about. Is that not like a true thing to say it in the sense of? It's even like Breaking Bad, you know, just a real norm getting into this kind of business and their approach to it in a kind of more structured, working world way, you know.
The end sequence in the private members club with the fucking...
Oh, so weird.
How
yeah.
$8,000 a year to be a private member of a tropical themed naked whorehouse? Was that what that was? Was a strip club come gentleman's club come... Stop saying come?
I think it was a brothel. Say come one more time.
Come, my lady. Come,
just
my
like
lady.
That. But yeah, that was weird actually. I think it was like $8,000 a year or $8,000 a month or something.
$8,000. I think it was $8,000 a year because I remember thinking that's so much money to join a fucking club. But at the same time, I was just like, it's got to be so much more today. Does that make sense?
Oh God, yeah.
Like if that club existed, it's way more money to join that today. Which actually reminds me of... But it was Michael Keaton in the fucking Tarzan getup was so funny.
Yeah.
It was just broadly a fucking fun film. And then running out into the streets of New York at the end of the movie. It's just beautiful. It was a beautifully made, fun film. And I kind of annoyed that it's kind of get a little lost. It's a little lost, you know. Like people should see this more.
Considering it's Ron Howard's first or directorial debut, and it's Mike Keaton's film kind of debut and stuff. Yeah, it's great.
And like Winkler, then
€8,000 in 1982 is worth, or sorry, $8,000 in 1982 is about 23 now.
$23,000 a year,
probably.
Yeah.
Now, if you're awful good,
you'll pay for my membership to some sort of cookie sex club?
Your mother will. Your mother will. I'm not getting involved in that. It's your business.
1 year. I'll be dead by the end of it, but...
But,
okay, 1982, you have Night Shift for Henry Winkler. Then it's an episode of Laverne and Shirley, an episode of Joni Loves Chachi, TV. I'm looking for the next movie. A couple of TV movies. Scream 1996 is his next feature film. Does that make any sense?
Well, you know, when a show kind of dies, people look at all the Friends cast.
14 years between feature films?
Oh, 14 years, yeah, that's a lot. I don't know, man. ask me too many questions.
He's a voice actor in a cartoon in 1985, and then a voice actor as the sequel of that in 89. That's a 4-year gap. Jesus Christ. TV.
Maybe he wanted a break. He was doing fucking Happy Days for what? Did you say 11 years?
Look, fair dues to him. Fair dues to Adam Sandler for bringing him back. I have to think that if he wanted to work, fucking Ron Howard would have put him in movies.
Yeah. He put his brother in movies. He put his brother in movies.
Well, that's the industry, isn't it? We've been kind of bopping through the things that we've been watching. So let's see. Henry Winkler.
Waterboy.
You want to go classic?
Go on, what is it? No.
Okay, I'm going to suggest we watch this because it's like on the extreme end of things. It is the film where Henry Winkler met the inspiration for the Fonz. When he auditioned to play the Fonz, he did an impersonation of this actor that he met making this movie, The Lords of Flatbush. The actor was Sylvester Stallone.
No way.
So, Lords of Flatbush, 1974. I don't know what it's about. Just 1950s greasers.
That's it. I'm just gonna watch it.
What do we think? Right?
Yeah, fine. Just send me the IMDb so I can get it.
Cool. I think one of the things we should mention as well, though, now that we've dictated that as the fucking film to watch, how good would that be actually? Okay, if you can get a second one in, maybe you can't, but like you've loads of forewarning. The 90s Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, fuck yeah, I'll watch that.
That's what I thought. The 90s Fantastic Four movie. I have never watched it. It has to be somewhere. It has to be gettable. It's probably on YouTube if I really look for it.
Yeah.
And I say that because it was produced by Roger Corman, who is an independent film producer since the probably late 60s, mid 70s. He made low budget fucking films that were just schlock. He was the king of fucking schlocky movies. Low budget films. Many cult classics, and he gave many filmmakers their first break, including, Martin Scorsese's Boxcar Bertha was under Roger Corman, and he just died this past week.
Okay, fair.
So I would say let's watch, because we're a nerd podcast and we love film, Roger Corman's Fantastic Four, and just for some Henry Winkler action, 1974's The Lords of Flatbush.
The Lords of Flatbush, Henry Winkler. I do believe I will try and watch them.
And of course, these days, it's the Lords of No Bush, am I right? People are a lot more manicured, is what I'm saying. There's not as many pubes around. In those days, flat bush from the pants pushing the bushes.
Fantastic Four, now, kind of, is this the one? Is this the one? Is this the one? I found
it.
Yes, I believe so. It's all on the YouTubes. Yeah, that's it. I got it. It's good quality as well. Do you want me to send it to you?
It's all on YouTube.
Yeah, just put in, it's an hour and a half, 1984, Fantastic Four 1994, full movie, 1080p remastered HDR test.
Cool. Send me a link.